the sixth video, and the topic is development. In Eco chapter, this is the first chapter we are doing, that is development. See students, in the last videos we have studied about how the development varies from person to person. The notion or the meaning of development varies from person to person. Different people have different goals and they have different developmental goals. And when we talk about the World Bank, we have studied this, how the World Bank classifies the different countries. And we have already studied this in the last videos, that how the per capita income, that is also known as average income, that is used to compare the different countries. Not only countries we compare the different states. And in the further slides, we have already studied about the public facilities, what all public facilities are required for the human development. We have already studied how the UNDP, United Nations Development Program, has highlighted that the income is not only the criteria, and they have justified also that average income or only the income attribute is not as important, and income is equally important with the other parameters also. Income is the only one criteria to judge the human development. For that, we have already seen and we have already studied that education plays a very vital role, very crucial role in the development of a person. And health also equally plays an important role for the development and bringing the full potential of an individual. Students, last video we have studied about the body mass index, how body mass index would be calculated, and what is the difference between the Human Development Report and the World Development Report. So students, we are going to study in these further slides the sustainability. The sustainability, I hope you remember that in class 8th also you have studied about the sustainability. What is sustainable development and how the sustainable economic development would be there. When we talk about the different principles of sustainability, we have studied all this in our lower classes. So here we are going to discuss the broader section of the sustainability. Why sustainability is required for every nation. Why a sustainable life is required for every individual. You know that students, the nature has provided you all those resources that you need for your survival. Nature is not a free gift. We have considered it as a free gift, and we have seen there are so many consequences are also there. If we harm the nature, nature also push back to you. We have seen that drought and the earthquakes and tsunamis and cyclones takes place. That means earth can protest also. The nature also protested against the acts of the human beings. Human beings have destroyed the entire nature, and if we have done a destruction of the nature, when too much of the destruction is done by the human beings or by the people or by the industrialists, we have seen that we are facing the consequences also. And we can see that there isn't too much of the flood coming up, and we have done too much of the deforestation, global warming is there, melting of the too much of the snow because of the global warming, and there's a whole hole in the ozone layer. So all these issues are we can control if we can have a sustainable development. So students, what is a sustainable development? You can see the development or the economic development that we do, or the infrastructural development we do, or we people are making and constructing anything, if without harming the nature and without compromising with the needs of future generation, if if development we do in on this scale, then we can say that it is sustainable development without harming the nature and without compromising the needs of coming generation, future generation. Without harming the nature, you know that there is a great depletion of the nature is going on. Too much destruction is going on. What all destruction and degradation, environmental degradation we are talking about. Soil, too much, the fertility of the soil has reduced. We are using too much of the irrigation, too much of the chemical fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides we people are using, which has due to that the fertility, the soil has lost its fertility. Too much of the irrigation that we people are doing, over irrigation is done, and due to that there is too much of the salinity in the soil, and alkalinity is also there. With the great deposition of the water has brought the salinity in the soil, and due to that salinity the fertility has also reduced. And to meet that and bring back that fertility, we keep adding the fertilizers, chemical fertilizers we are using. We are not using the organic fertilizers, we are using the chemical fertilizers. So we are compromising with the nature. Nature is compromising with us, and we are using it abundantly and in an exorbitant manner. We people are using the nature. The another important term that has come, that few compromise with the future generation, needs of the future generation. Whatever is the requirement of today, if we extract the resources, only that much limited resources if we extract, minerals we extract, then we can say that we are leaving a stock is left for the future generation. But no, we are not leaving as much as reserve we people can take it out. We are extracting it, and when we people are extracting so many things, then how we people are going to, what we people are going to leave it for the next generation. See students, when we talk about these natural resources, you know that we have different type of resources. We have renewable resources and the non-renewable resources. So when we are talking about the renewable resources, that they can be renewed with a short period of time, and we people are using it. But there are so many minerals, and the fuels are there, fossil fuels are there, which takes millions of years to form again. Their formation is very slow, and they take millions of years for their formation, and they are non-renewable. Once they are used, they are exhausted. They are exhaustible resources, and we cannot use them again and again. And once they are finished, once they are used, they are exhausted. We cannot use them again. So they are non-renewable, and these non-renewable resources needs millions of years to form it again. So that means their formation is very slow. So what the sustainable requirement of a sustainability is, the economic development, whatever country is doing, and maybe India is doing, America is doing, whichever country is doing that development or infrastructural development, when they are using the resources which does not damage the environment and without damaging the environment, if we people are doing, then only it can be called as a sustainable development. And moreover, side by side, we take care of the needs of the future generation also. That means future generation, we don't compromise with the needs of the future generation. Whatever future generation needs, we have left the stock, and we should leave the stock for the future generation also. But this is not possible. That means we people are not doing the economic sustainable development. Sustainable economic development, we are not doing it. Why, students? Because as you already know, if you wanted to construct a dam, you need to clear up a huge acres of the forest area. So you have done a deforestation, too much of the soil erosion is done, and you have diverted the river water also. That means you are playing with the nature. So when we are playing with the nature, and we are harming the aquatic animals, we are harming the flora and fauna, and we are disturbing the food chain, and the entire ecosystem gets disturbed, then how we can say that we are doing a sustainable economic development? Sustainability of economic development is not possible when we are damaging the environment. If we are damaging the environment and we are cutting down the forest, in place of one plant, we can plant more number of trees. But this is not possible. You can see that the society is affected, the economy is affected, and the environment is also affected. If all these three things would go systematically, then sustainable development can be achieved. But what all we people need to get a green economy, what we need to have? Low carbon growth. You know that we have too much of the pollution is taking place. If we make a control over that pollution, then you can see that we can have a green economy. But we cannot control that pollution or the emission of the carbon dioxide when it is emitted out from the vehicles. That pollutes the environment, that pollutes the air that we breathe. And resource efficiency, we should use the resources in an efficient manner, in a judicious manner. And the society should be inclusive to it. Inclusivity of this society should be there. All the people, entire society should learn all these basic structures of the development. And without that understanding, and without the awareness, and without the protection, or without taking the preventive measures, we people cannot achieve the green economy. If we all people add up this, then only we can attain the sustainable development. Low emission of the carbon. If we reduce the carbon, that means nowadays you can see that less number of the vehicles going on. And during this particular time, you must have heard that if from a very far off distances, you can see the snow to different the places from where you are living. If you are living at a hill station, you can see the big mountain and the greenery, and even the snow also you can observe from there. But during the other normal days, when this COVID situation was not there, there was too much of the pollution, the clarity of the environment, the clarity of the sky was not there. That was only due to the pollution or the carbon emitted out by the billions and billions of vehicles. And you know that how we people are going to use the resources. Nature has provided you all the things that we need, the physical environment, and all the biotic and abiotic components are provided in the nature, and all those biotic and abiotic components that is available in the nature, they are really very useful for the development, and we people are making the best use of it. But yes, due to the low technology or due to the unscientific methods, when we use the resources and if we use the nature, then you can say that you cannot say that you are doing a resource efficiency. You must have heard about the shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation was not to be considered as a resource efficiency, because we clear a patch of land, we burn it, and with that there is a great trouble. Sometimes it happened that the forest fire and the burning, it increases the pollution. Too much of the smoke in the environment creates a trouble. So that was long back. But now we people are not doing the shifting cultivation. There are certain areas where shifting cultivation is going on, but the smoke that we people release from millions of vehicles and the industries that is emitting the smoke outside, toxic waste, they are dumping into the rivers and the river waters. This cannot be called as a resource efficiency, or the environment, there is an environmental degradation is taking place. So we don't say that we are doing a sustainable development. See, what are the things that is desired? What are the outcomes that we need for a sustainable development? Clean water and air, fertile soil and good food, a livelihood and a healthy economy, an optimum population size. If the size of the population would keep increasing, definitely too much of the consumption of the things would be there, or more consumption and the use of the nature would increase, that would overuse. Halting the global warming, if we can reduce, or if we cannot reduce, at least give a halt. We can stop it here by doing the proper filtration can be added to the vehicles. Proper pollution checkup can be done of the different vehicles. So we can, by doing all these things, we can give the or by using the CNG, you must have heard about. So we should give a halt to the global warming. Safety from the poverty and diseases, social contact and a sense of community. If we people really feel that, okay, this is my land, this is my country, this is my area, this is my forest, that sense of belongingness if we would have, then only we can we will try to protect the nature. Work, rest and celebrate, opportunities to learn. These are the different outcomes that we people need for the attaining a sustainable situation and a sustainable economic development. See, here we are connecting everything with the development. So you can see that need for sustainable development. Yes, there is a great need. It's a great need of an hour that we need to have. We need to do sustainable development. So what all sustainable development we can do is over exploitation of natural resources should be stopped. Climatic changes are taking place. If we can control it, then much of the changes would not be there. Scarcity of resources. We are suffering with lacking. We are lacking in getting the resources. And one by one we can say it, exploitation of natural resources. 1 million species of track of extinction. They are disappearing from the earth. They are disappearing from the scene, from the earth. Their extinction is there and they are not available, and they are in the endangered categories. There are many endangered, would become an extinct species, and whatever number is available today, they may be endangered and may lead to this endangered species may lead to extinction. You must have heard about dinosaurs. Dinosaurs have become the extinct species. So there are many species, 1 million species. It's a very big number. You can see 1 million species on a track of extinction. They are about to extinct from the surface of the earth. And the another thing, the decline of more than 60% of the world's marine fisheries. 60% of the marine fisheries, different types of the fishes, they are about to disappear, and there is a great threat to those fishes. So why? Because of the dumping and throwing all the waste, throwing all the industrial waste into the water bodies, and it has really led to the it has made the life of the fisheries, marine fisheries, has become very problematic. Now you can see scarcity of resources. What we people lack? Scarcity, lesser in quantity. Okay, food production needs to double over the next 40 years at a time when almost 23% of the world's agricultural land has been graded. You can see degradation is taking place. As I've already told you, the land is getting degraded, and in the coming years the quality of the land would deteriorate extremely. It would deteriorate with a faster rate that we would not be having the fertile land. If land would not be fertile, agriculture production would not be there. If agriculture production would not be there, there would be a food scarcity. And you can see that within 40 years, in the next 40 years, a time will come that almost 23% of agricultural land will become a barren land and would be degraded. The quality would totally deteriorate, and it would be highly difficult, to grow the agricultural production and to grow the crops on that land. You know that land is limited. You cannot have any substitute of a land, and without land you cannot grow the things. Then it would be really difficult for the people to attain the food security, and food production would not be there. So you can see that what mess, and the life would be in a trouble, and there would be highly scarcity of the food. Nearly 2/3 of the world's population will be living in water scarcity stress areas by 2025. See, we are at present at 2020, and there is a great water scarcity in different parts of the areas, because too much of the wastage, too much of the over irrigation, and too much of the depletion of the resources going on, and especially water. Water is, you cannot survive without water. You cannot survive without air. You can survive few days without food, but you cannot survive without water. So water is very important, and that would deteriorate. Their quality is deteriorating because of the industrial waste. And a time would come, you can see that it is very near 2025, there would be a great stress with the entire global population, that there would be a water scarcity all around the different nations. They would have the problem, and they would be in trouble with the water scarcity. Climatic changes, you can see that there is a need to have the climatic changing taking place. Too much of the global warming is there, too much heat is there, less rainfall is there. Why these? This is only because of the the sustainable development. We have played with the nature, we have disturbed the nature, we have disturbed the entire ecosystem. So increase in atmospheric temperature and extreme weather events, extreme weather conditions would be there, and the rising sea level would rise, and extinction threat to small islands nation due to the climate change. If the sea level would increase, water level would also increase, then you can see that too much of the flood, and the coastal areas would be highly affected with the high tides, and with the cyclonic disturbances, or the western disturbances that you have already studied in geography class 9th. So rising, so there is a need, there is a great need, for sustainable development. And if we people are not going to do the sustainable development in the upcoming years, we people can see the threat on the life of the people. You can see, students, we should take care of the needs of the future generation, and we should not damage the environment. It is known as sustainable development. We need to take care two important things, because why we need to have a sustainable development? Many of the resources are non-renewable and they are exhaustible. Over-exploitation of these resources will affect the needs of the present generation, needs of our future generation, present as well as future generation. And if today we people would be affected, automatically the future generation would be highly affected. They would be in an alarming position, they would be at a red alert that their conditions, their lifestyle would be totally full of hardships. Second, environmental pollution has become a major threat for the survival of the human beings. So not only this, we need to have different objectives. What are the objectives that we have, or you can call the features of sustainable development? Sustained rise in the real per capita income and the quality of life. Okay, what we are objective to have the sustainable life. Why we people talking about the sustainable life? So that we can live a quality life, so that we can, by using the resources, we can earn the better per capita income. And this would be possible only if we people are going to have the we will do sustainability, and if we follow the principles of the sustainability, reduction in pollution. This we can do it. We can easily do it. If everybody will try, we can do it. We can achieve this. We can achieve these objectives. Rational use of natural resources. Easy way, without grid, we can use the resources. You must have heard that Gandhiji has said that we cannot fulfill the needs of everybody, but the grid of one person, we can fulfill the needs of the entire population. The nature can fulfill the needs, but the grid that we have, that cannot be fulfilled, because your grid, your desires, you cannot control your desires. So grid of a person, of one person, cannot be fulfilled, but the needs of the entire population can be fulfilled. This is what Mahatma Gandhi has said, that rational use of natural resources. We should not have mass production, but we should do the production by using masses. By using more number of people, the production can be done. More production is the solution for maintaining and controlling the sustainable development. So there has to be a rational use. There has to be without wastage, without doing much of wastage and wasting the resources should not be there. What as much as you need for your requirement, that much only you should use it. Unnecessarily you should not use it. So rational use of natural resources to fulfill the requirements of the future generation. If you people are not going to keep the stock, if you are not going to keep the reserves, then your future generation will be in trouble. So our future generation, our children, if they cannot lead a good life, if we people are not going to leave the resources for today, if we are not going to leave the resources today, what they are going to use, how they are going to live their life, how they are going to lead their life, what they are going to consume, how they are going to survive in this world. So students, there is a great need of sustainability. See students, we have already seen that there are many renewable, non-renewable resources. Nature has provided you all the things. Air is also getting polluted, and land is also getting scarce day by day because the quality is deteriorating, their fertility is reducing day by day. So in this context, you can see that to meet the requirement of the population and to get the and attain the food, you can see that what all thing is important required, a better irrigation facility is required. Earlier people used to do the traditional farming, and in that traditional farming, much of the agriculture, they used to depend on the monsoon, they used to depend on rain for irrigating their fields. But as the technological development has done, scientific development has taken place, we have an advanced technologies and population has increased. So to meet the requirement of the people, you can see that we need to have groundwater. We are extreme with the overuse. We are doing an overuse of the sustainable development of the water. Sustainability is not maintained with the groundwater. You can see the first point that we have. India is the largest groundwater user in the world. You can see that students, we have 137 crores of population, and to satisfy the thirst and the other needs of the people, and to produce the food grains, we need to have we have started extracting, taking out, pumping out the groundwater, because we cannot depend on the rainfall, because rainfall is erratic. There is no particular time when the rain is going to come. So due to that, we people have started pumping out, taking out the underground water. So India is the largest consumer of, user of the groundwater. Number 2, groundwater has played a significant role in the maintenance of India's economy. Definitely yes, because our Indian economy is an agrarian economy, agricultural economy, and we basically depend on agriculture and agriculture production. We have many agro-based industries. In India, we have many agro-based industries, and due to that, our economic condition in the world has improved. And this is only due to the groundwater, availability of the groundwater and use of the groundwater. The production, agriculture production of the country has increased. Not only that, environment and the standard of living has also improved. India's standard of living, environment, and India's economy has got a boost from the groundwater. Third point, you can see that groundwater depletion has become an increasingly important policy concern. It has become an alarming and red alert that underground water is getting depleted day by day. Earlier we used to pump out within few meters in the ground, and now we need to go extreme deep, 60, 70, 80, 100 meters or maybe more than. That means the water table has reduced, the capacity has reduced because we have already pumped out too much of the water from the ground. Number 4, the factors driving this expansion include poor public irrigation. Why? There isn't too much of the wastage going on. We may not have the proper irrigation facilities. We may not have proper technology which can avoid the wastage. Whereas you can see that we have very poor public irrigation facilities, and drinking water delivery and the supply is also not supplying of the water is also not very good. The pipelines are not properly used, and we have leakages, too much of the leakages there in the water pipelines. So due to that, there isn't too much of the wastage is going on, and new pumps and technologies we are not using it, the flexibility and the timelines of the groundwater supply and the government electricity subsidies. So all these are the factors which has brought the scarcity and depletion of the groundwater. Depletion is concentrated in many of the most of the populated and economically productive areas. Depletion is highly concentrated in all those areas where the most of the population is living. If population would be affected wherever we have a thick population, more of the population, if water supply would not be there, if scarcity would arise, definitely it would become a threat for the life of the human beings. So students, there is a great need. It is a need of an hour. It's today's need that we need to preserve. We need to safeguard the water table, underground water table, and there is a need to understand that people should understand it. People should be made aware to avoid the wastage of the water. You know it, without water, the life is not possible. If we people really wanted to survive, if we really wanted to live a better life and a quality life, then students, there is a need to there has to be a sustainable development with the groundwater. If we people are not going to take it seriously, then the population in the coming years and the next generation has to face the consequences of the depletion of the groundwater. We have one more example here of the crude oil, and crude oil is the raw oil that we extract it, we take it out, and we use it. Okay, from the crude oil we use kerosene, petroleum, diesel, lubricants, petrochemical industry, all the nodal industries, they are also using the crude oil. So crude oil has become the lifeline for the economy. If crude oil will not be there, the movement of the things and the transportation would not work, and if fossil fuels will not be there, then we would move back to the early man's life, where you can have bullock cart or a horse ride or the other uses, rickshaws that you are going to use it. So that means, students, what we need to do is there is a need to have less consumption of the crude oil. So when we are talking about the crude oil, you can see, students, the reserves that is available to us, reserve. Okay, so we have Middle East countries. We have already studied that these Middle East countries, they are developed countries. Why they are developed? Because they have a reserves. I've already told you they have a reserves of the mineral oil. So these reserves is available with the Middle East countries. You can see that this was the reserve of 2000. This is a census given there, data given of 2013 available to me. And you can see that we are in 2020 now. And within 7 years, we must have already used it. Okay. And you can see that how much we people are going to last. Reserve will last 78, another 78 years. Okay. And almost we have consumed 7-8 years we have already come, so would also reduce. United States of America has also, USA has also this much of the reserves available today, and that is going to last for these many number of years. Okay. Altogether, if we see in the entire world how much reserve is available to us of the crude oil in the world, this much total, you can see this much of the oil is there, and in different other countries. In India also we have some the crude oil is available to us. So altogether the consumption that we people can do, that is another 53 years. This was according to the census of 2013. 7 years has already gone. 7 years have already gone. So you can analyze how much number of more years we people can have we can use these resources. And you can see that another 53 years we people are going to use the resources. If we keep using, if we keep extracting the mineral oil with the present rate, with the same speed as we people are doing today, with the same speed, if we keep taking it out, then in how many days we people can further go? These reserve would last only 53 years. Another 53 years it would last. And then you can see that this is for the whole of the world. Okay. And you already know that the population would also increase, demands would also increase, and with that other industries would also consume. More of the consumption would be there. So if the pace of the consumption would increase, then it will not last for 53 years. It might reduce to maybe 40, 45 another years we have. Because we have already seen that 7 years we have already gone. We have reduced it, we have already consumed it. So whatever the data available to us it must have reduced to us. Okay. And countries like India depend on importing oil. We import the oil from different countries. You can see that from last 20-30 days, the prices of the petrol has increased regularly. And almost 20 times in 30 days, 20 times the prices of the petrol has increased. This is only because of it is an exhaustible resources. Once you use the resource, once you use the petrol, it gets exhausted. You cannot use it again. See, you can use the soil, you can use the land again and again, but once it is used, the petrol is used, it is over and it is finished and you cannot use it again. And you know that it is non-renewable resources, and the formation of these minerals needs millions of years for their formation. So we have seen that India depends on importing oil from abroad because they do not have enough stocks of their own. That means whatever resources, whatever availability that we people have. This is, see, you can see that it's Bombay High. Bombay High, from where we extract the coastal area from where we extract the mineral in India. But we have the domestic availability of crude oil is there, but that is not sufficient as per the population requirement. So we need to import from the other countries also. If prices of the oil increase, this becomes a burden for everyone. You can see that if the prices of the petrol would increase, definitely the cost of other commodities, this cost of petrol would be divided on different things. So that cost of reserves would be laid on the other commodity, on the other burden. So there are countries like USA which have low reserves and their requirements are more, their demands are more, and their consumption is more, and hence want to secure oil through military or economic power. Through the military power, because they don't have their, but they want, if because they wanted to run their economy, so with the power of military they can acquire and they can capture the crude oil from the different countries. You must have heard about that America has attacked on Iran, and that means the America can show its power on them to get and acquire the reserves of crude oil. Now the question of sustainability of development raises many fundamental issues are there that has raised that we need to protect the nature and the process of development. So students, we know that there is a great need to protect all these resources. It may be soil, it may be water, it may be the crude oil, or it may be the different species of the animals, or maybe the fisheries, or maybe the flora and fauna. All these things are needed to be protected. So sustainability plays a very important role. If sustainability would not be there, our survival is in threat. Our survival is endangered. So there is a great need to protect and to have a sustainable economic development. There is no doubt we need to have an economic development, but it has to be in a restriction. There has to be limit for using the different resources. So students, there is a sustainability required. Proper sustainable development is required to have a better life for the people and for the human beings. So students, with this, see the assignment. With this, we come to an end of the chapter. We have ended this chapter. Go through it. See the assignment. Do it. Maintain it. Till then, thank you so much.